Hello, this is Lee back once again for another video, and took a little bit of time to rest. I've had a long weekend, as my previous video hinted at. Here it is, November the 13th, 2017, by your reckoning. I took a little extra day to travel, kind of rest up this time. I told myself I would never do this again, and let me just think about this. Why do I do this? This thing that I do. I mean, it's such a niche market, Shimmer. Why does anyone care? I noticed that Wikipedia was going to delete, or thinking about deleting, the Shimmer Volume page, and I guess it's just a list of the matches, but still. Most wrestling fans have probably never heard of this promotion, this all-female promotion out of the Chicagoland area of Berwyn, Illinois. Started by Dave Prazak and Allison Danger back in 2005. A few fans have probably heard of it since the Mae Young Classic on the WWE Network, featured a lot of footage from them. And you might say, well, what's this low-budget, fraternity hall kind of thing going on? And then at the end it says, courtesy of Shimmer. And who is Sarah Amato? Sarah Del Rey, who trains the women wrestlers for WWE, and is the head trainer now for the women. Where did she wrestle mostly? Well, Chikara, of course, and Shimmer. So why do I do it? Well, I'm a fan of women's wrestling. I got into it because I saw some matches in Japan. I'd read about how trashy and how much of a waste the women's wrestling was in WWE and even TNA television. Although, people talked about the Knockouts division in the 2000s, how good it was. But I'd heard about Joshi. What is that? It just means woman or women in Japanese. And they take their women's wrestling very seriously. In the early 90s, it was big news, big stuff. And some of those stars came over to the United States, the Jumping Bomb Angels, the Crush Gals. You had various people cross over. Medusa Michelli, Alundra Blaze, as she was known in her brief WWF run. But mostly fans didn't get to see it, and they only got to, just the tip of the iceberg of what these women were capable of. So I saw that there was, it was just as good as the men, and sometimes it was better. Kind of reminds me of the heyday of the X Division in TNA, just lots of skillful moves. So Shimmer started as this, taking women's wrestling seriously. And, back then, it was very humble beginnings. So I checked it out around volume 37. I saw 1 through 6 that were the retail versions. But I really got hooked because it was so good. And it was local. So I thought, I can actually afford to travel and see these shows live. And I checked out volume 41, 42 around that time. And it was just incredible, amazing. And it's such a small, thing, such a small venue. You get to meet the stars, and many of them went on to do better things. And some of them did not. Some of them kind of vanished, and maybe were at the tail end of their careers, or just preferred to stay kind of local, kind of small time. So why do I do it? Well, because I enjoy it. I didn't get onto YouTube to become a big star. Those days are gone. Very few people can make a living, doing that sort of thing. I do it for fun, and because, I saw, how much fun, I could have as a Shimmer fan, and as a fan of the performers themselves, not just the promotion, but the promotion is rather unique in the United States, the continental United States. Good women's wrestling, local. But because there were very few reviews of the volumes, and so it's kind of just like a surprise. There's only 250 people that see the shows. That's how small the venue is, the Eagles Club. 250 people, and it takes about a year for the digital versatile discs to come out. So really, who gets to see it? They have some shows that are streaming pay-per-views, but most people haven't even heard of them. It's all word of mouth. Maybe a little bit with WWE now, but mostly just very niche. So I thought, if someone else isn't going to do these reviews, and there were a couple here and there, I'm going to have to do them myself. And if you're the type of person that thinks, women's wrestling, it's bad, it's stupid, it's a waste, but maybe you like professional wrestling as a, whatever, entertainment, you might be pleasantly surprised. So I do these reviews, hopefully, to encourage people to know what they're getting into. So if they do want to give it a chance, to check it out. And of course, these reviews contain spoilers, as always. I'm not trying to ruin it for anyone, but it takes an entire year. It's kind of a long wait if you weren't there live. So I'll just kind of give you a hint of things to come. So I think I do it because I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about it. And I want to give others the chance who might be interested to kind of see it. Because I'm not a paid sponsor, shill, or anything like that. I'm gonna say when I think they didn't do it right, or if there was something that was a little off. But so that's why I do it. So that's why I do these videos. And I've had some time to rest up. So let me get on and finally talk about the Shimmer weekend tapings. I don't know why they call them tapings. They don't use tape anymore, but digital recordings, whatever. For 96 through 99. I told myself I'd never do this again because it was so exhausting the last time I did a full weekend recording. But I decided, you know what? I'll take a couple extra days here and there. I've got the vacation time and just do a little bit. So I'm well rested. I'm excited. But the clock is ticking. Got to get these reviews in so I can get some rest and get back into my normal routine. Because I don't do this all the time. I do other things, So, I do want to say right off the bat here, before I get started, that I did get a little bit of help. And you might say, help? What do you mean? I thought you were an investigative journalist. Well, not officially, but I do what I can. But I did have to go over the match lists. I consulted a couple of sources, Squared Circle Sirens and Wrestling News, I believe it was, 2 websites, just to consult, because my memory isn't perfect. I didn't take photos of everything, and no video recording is allowed. People always have these spoilers out, right away. So I'm not going to be the first, but I don't want you to think that I'm just copying them either. I did go to the show, here are my ticket stubs. If you can see, the volume 98, 99, 96, 97. So I was really there. And what else? I am a fan. I do have the T-shirt, Shimmer, which I got at another time. Let's see, what else? Merchandise, digital versatile discs, things. What else? Here, autographs, things like that. So, let's see, that is the official, okay. So, I did go to the show. I was there for the entire weekend. I didn't take any breaks in the middle. I didn't miss anything. I was not late. I was there for the whole show recording. I think there was one moment during a match where I think I kind of looked down. No, I wasn't texting on my phone. I made sure not to do that, but I was distracted to something. I looked down for a second, and they looked up, and ding, 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 the person was pinned. So I missed the moment when they were pinned, but otherwise I kept my eyes open. And now that my voice is back, I was kind of losing my voice, and then back and forth as I was talking. But now I'm ready. So I've got my handy match list to kind of jog the old memory, and I'm going to talk about my impressions of the show. And it's not just going to be a straight synopsis, because I think that gets boring. It's boring for me. I can't imagine, it being boring for you as well. So let me get started, and if you don't want to be spoiled, then don't listen, because really, I mean, think about it. The last shows, I mean, Volume 79 was the last. Here, let me set these down here. Volume 79 is the last DVD, digital versatile disc, that's out, and Volume 80 streaming. But then 80 and 81 are still for pre-order. It takes about a year from the recorded time to when it comes out, officially available. So they didn't have those yet available at the show. Still only up to 79. So, but think about it, 99 just wrapped. So from 81 to 99, only those 250 in attendance and the wrestlers and production staff themselves have seen them. So even if I spoil the whole thing, you're probably going to forget in a year, except maybe, who's the current champion and whatever. But I'm not such an insider, that I've seen every single show. I've only seen, a few here and there. Usually I only see the Saturday, but this time I saw the whole weekend. So I got about 12 hours of wrestling in me. And so let's see if I can talk about it in less time. So, next video coming soon. Thanks for watching. But I would say, overall, before I get into it, a bit of a criticism. The last couple of shows, I felt like, we suffered from smarks, disrupting the enjoyment of the show. We suffered from the crowds being dead in the middle of matches, or even throughout whole matches, and not necessarily bad ones, just dead crowds for some reason. And then we also had kind of a loss of star power. A lot of people leaving for other promotions, TNA and WWE, NXT and so forth. And then we also had, just no Joshi at all. No Japanese wrestlers like we were used to. And as a result, a lot of the more colorful super fans were not there. And I'm wondering if maybe Shimmer, as a promotion, Dave Prazak and everything, they're trying to save money. Perhaps I don't know if they're getting any kind of extra money from the exposure with WWE and Mae Young Classic and all that, Sarah Amato. Who knows? I kind of wondered, if they were becoming a pipeline to WWE, the Shine promotion, which is part of it. You've got, Shimmer and Shine, and now Rise and Shine. I see what they did there. Is their wrestling school. So people go into Rise, and then Shimmer and Shine, and then they go right to WWE, and they can make the big bucks and not have to wrestle as much. But I was kind of wondering, is it becoming a pipeline for Fast Track, and we don't get to enjoy the characters that we used to? Just kind of these pretty girls come and go, and they're gone, and it's not, and maybe they're losing some of the old magic. But I felt for this show, whatever they did to save money in the last year or so, they're getting it back and bring back some of the old magic. So some of the old stars are back, and some of the Joshi talent are back once again, new as well as older, and as a result, some of the old fans coming back. So, and a little bit of the diminishment of the smarks, and I'll get into that later. So I think the overall product for this weekend was quite good. I would even say better than the previous weekend that I attended live. You can watch my vlog to see that. But so far, so good. So let me get into more specifics in the next video. So thanks for watching.